here to talk about public goods. Public goods are those things that we need that are not adequately provided by the market. But there's obvious value in public goods. Things like clean air and water, a functioning political system, and a healthy public with access to food and education and transportation. Instead of using our government to invest in those public goods that would benefit all of us, we allow our investment to be primarily governed by market forces. But the market is not designed to provide us with all that we need and deserve in our communities. Society feels the effect of public goods even when a private entity cannot. I'm from Louisiana. It's my home. And people there, like people everywhere, want jobs because they care about their families and they have to make a living. And to put it simply, oil companies are big. The oil industry controls 17% of Louisiana jobs. And so the oil industry is seen as a lifeblood. But private businesses seeking profit lack the incentives to maintain ecosystems like the wetlands of the Mississippi Delta. In fact, the oil companies have destroyed those wetlands, and we need them. They're designed by nature to absorb the shocks created by storms and sea level rise. As a society, we have a choice. We can choose to invest in our wetlands up front, creating more jobs, or we can allow the private market to determine the use of those wetlands and pay the cost to clean up the mess. Public goods have an enormous power to improve our quality of life, so why aren't more resources being devoted to their creation and preservation? Even in the wake of financial crisis, our current financial system focuses on giving money to the private sector to produce market goods. This creates a scarcity of public goods. Consider alternative forms of energy. Private sector research and development into energy technology has fallen steadily since the 80s and now only accounts for 0.03% of sales in the US. It's a small number. But we know that our current energy economy can't last forever. Not only will we one day run out of coal and oil, but long before that, we may find ourselves living in a planet congested by pollution. These problems aren't necessarily a failure of human ingenuity, but the consequences of low investment. Privately owned banks concerned solely with profits do not have the incentives to provide us with with the goods we need. So public investment will be necessary. And public investment is a good thing. Investment in the private industry goes to just a few people, while investment in public goods benefits everybody. We are told that the government should not or cannot afford to provide us with these goods. Yet we are asked to believe that we live in one of the greatest countries on earth. We do have the resources, but they're being wasted under the assumption that the market can solve all of our problems. As speakers have already said, we must reclaim our money supply from the private banks and reframe taxation. This will allow us to create the public goods which are most critical to us without increasing our national debt. Even though the Bush administration informed Congress that returns on environmental investment are 5-to-1, we are currently de-investing in things like our environment and education. But studies have shown that the single most important factor in determining the affluence of a country is the investment that country puts into education. We must have the foresight to say that there are things we need to invest in for our future. This country was founded on the concepts of equal opportunity. By investing in public goods, we are returning to our core value of equal opportunity for all. It is a value that has been eroded by the corporate control of our government. This conversation is one that the public cannot afford to ignore.